Hi BookTube, my name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I am here with a weekly reading vlog. So today is Sunday, it is February the 14th. Happy Valentine's Day everybody who celebrates, and if you don't celebrate, happy Sunday. So it's about just after 10 in the morning. I just filmed my final clip for last week's vlog, so I thought I would, since I was sitting here already, jump right in and start this one. It's a little cold today, as you can tell. I've got my sweater on. We did get some snow yesterday, last night. So I'm just kind of relaxing. As soon as I'm done recording this clip, I'm going to edit the vlog for this week. That shouldn't take me too long, but I've got my my morning coffee because, you know, on Valentine's Day, we need our Halloween mugs. Halloween mugs all year round, as far as I'm concerned. So as I like to open these vlogs, I like to share with you what I'm reading today, and I'll probably do another clip later on tonight, but also my reading plans for the week, because last week it was great, you guys. Like, it was the first time I'd really done a reading plan, like a proper reading plan this year. And it worked out well. My goal every week is 4 books, and I finished 5 last week. So I'm hoping I can keep the same momentum by kind of doing these weekly plans. I used to do the plans monthly, like this is what I want to read for the whole month. You know, I mean, essentially that's what a TBR is, but I would have it broken down by like how many pages I needed to read a day. And a whole month was a little bit difficult, but to do it weekly is a little bit easier, I think, a little bit more manageable. So I do have a bunch of books that I want to read this week. So I've got them all here on my tablet, so I thought I would share them with you. So to start off with, for my audiobooks, I am about 30% of the way through The Right Swipe by Alicia Rai, and I'm enjoying this one. It's the first book in the Modern Love series. It's very spicy. I talked about this in my last vlog, that I find the cover to be disjointed for the amount of steam that's in this book. So I don't know. I'll talk more about that when I finish the book. We'll see exactly where it lands in terms of steam factor, because there's been a lot of innuendo, a lot of discussions about what happened before, because in this story, it's in a way a second chance, because the two people had a fling, our two main characters had a fling a few years earlier, and now they've met back up again. So it's going to kind of go from there. But we will see where that lands, essentially. And the other audiobook I would like to read this week, I don't know if I'm going to get this one done this week, I'd like to, is A Change of Heart by Sonalia Dev, which I think is the second or third book in the Bollywood series. This is a series I really like. The stories are sort of interconnected, not really. No, they're not really connected. I'd say that they're standalone, a standalone series, essentially. But this book does precede A Distant Heart, which I've already read. So those two, like this one and A Distant Heart, I think that you do need to read them one in front of, like, read them in proper order, if you will. So again, I'll talk more about that when I get to that book. And then as for my ebooks, I do have 5 here to read, but one of them is a novella and the other one is a Babysitter's Club book, so should not actually be too difficult. The first one that I just started this morning is Pursuit of the Truth by Katie Richards. This is, I think, the first book in the West Investigations series. So I know my friend Bree over at Falling for Romance on Instagram read this and she loved it. It's got great ratings on Goodreads, like 4.47 or something like that. So people are really enjoying this book, and so far, I mean, I'm not even done the first chapter yet, and I'm already really enjoying it. I also want to read As Kismet Would Have It by Sandhya Menon, which is book number 1.5 in the Dimple and Rishi series. I've read the entire series except for this novella. I forgot that there was the novella. So I'm going to read that this week as well. I want to get to The Chai Factor by Farah Heron. I'm not too sure what this one is about. I know I've seen it around. I have a copy of it for the Kindle. I think I bought it on a daily deal, and I really want to get to it. Then There Was You by Mona Schaaf. This is a NetGalley read, and I am very excited about it. I don't know too much about it. It's a romance. That's all I really need to know. And then last but not least, Marianne Plus Too Many Babies by Ann M. Martin. I think this is book 52 or 53 in the Babysitter's Club series. So yeah, I'm just working my way through this series. I enjoy these ones. These take me just an hour or so to read. So I would like to get through this one as well this week. So those are my big reading plans for the week. Yeah, let's see what happens. I am home from work still this week. We are still on stay-at-home orders for the City of Toronto, which I work in the City of Toronto, so I am part of those stay-at-home orders. And it's supposed to be lifted next Monday, the 22nd of February. They're saying maybe. If they're not, then I guess I'll still be working from home after that. But I have a feeling that even if they're lifted, it might be a situation of we're only going into the office once or twice a week because they still want to keep everybody safe, right? So still probably be a lot of working from home, but this is a long weekend. On Monday, tomorrow, is actually Family Day here in the province of Ontario. I believe it's only Ontario that has this this statutory holiday, or this holiday. I don't think it's statutory because at the last job I worked at, we didn't get the day off. It essentially was, it's up to the individual employer. Like my husband has to work, my brother's working tomorrow. Like I said, at the last company I worked for, we worked it. And the reason for that was because we had off between Christmas and New Year's. So they gave us that, but took away this, which, you know, it's fine, whatever. But I kind of really like having this long weekend because if not, it's like you've got this long stretch from New Year's, Christmas and New Year's and the holidays up until, and your next holiday really isn't until Easter. Like your next long weekend isn't until Easter, and that could be late March, early April. That could be like 3 months without a long weekend. That's a lot. So it is nice having this kind of long weekend sprinkled, you know, in the middle. So I'm looking forward to just relaxing tomorrow and getting a lot of reading done. I am not having to film anything today other than these little clips. Clearly no makeup. My hair is my hair. No apology for it. It is what it is. I did all my filming actually yesterday on Saturday, which was really great. And I am ahead of the game because I filmed my videos for this coming week that you guys are going to see, like you would have seen last week, the way these go. And then I've got a video filmed actually for the end of February. I only need, other than my vlogs, I only need to film one more video for February. So that's pretty good. And I'd like to even try and maybe get ahead of the game for March. So we shall see. I kind of, you know, I do bulk film and I'm totally cool with that. But I'm thinking like what I used to do was like film everything for that week, like on the Sunday. But what I might actually start doing is maybe adding an extra video, and so that way I can maybe even take a week off of filming other than the vlogs. And the vlogs are pretty easy, you know, for me just to sit down and chat with you guys. So we shall see, because you know, it's kind of nice to have, to not have to worry about, it's not that they're difficult or whatever, but you know, it's just kind of nice to have a bunch of stuff, you know, in case something happens or in case I get busy, to have some videos kind of ready to go up if I get busy. So anyway, I'm rambling now, you guys. I will let you go, but I will check in tonight and let you know how I'm doing on my reading for today. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Morning, BookTube. It is Tuesday morning. Sorry I didn't do a clip yesterday, but I'm going to talk to you guys when I get back inside again, because I did finish a couple books yesterday, but we got some snow. We got a lot of snow, actually. This started about 8 o'clock last night, and yeah, so see, big snowdrift behind my mom's vehicle. My husband dug out my side so we could go for coffee, you know, priorities. But my mom does actually have she hired some guys to come and do the driveway, so they should be here soon to do that. The plow truck did come through for the road itself, sort of. But yeah, we got some snow, you guys. It's a little crazy. Kind of glad that I am working from home. But it does look super, super pretty. My vehicle down the street. People are out doing their driveways. But yeah, I just thought that I would pop on with a quick little clip and show you guys all the pretty snow. Hi friends, happy Tuesday. It is the 16th of February and it's just after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I had a little clip before this of the snow outside. So sorry I did not record any update yesterday, but I did finish 2 books yesterday. Now one was later last night just before bed, so I wasn't going to pop on here and share that at that point. But I did, of course, want to share with you what I have read, like the 2 books that I finished. So I'm all cozy today in my big, ugly cardigan sweater. It's really long. It like goes down to my knees, but it keeps me nice and warm. And I'm sitting in front of the window here, and it's a little breezy. But yeah, we got quite a bit of snow, as I showed you guys, I'm sure. So anyway, reading update for the last couple days. So first of all, yesterday I finished on audio The Right Swipe by Alicia Rai. This is the first book in the Modern Love series. And this is the story essentially of a woman who is a dating app software developer and a former pro football player. So I talked about this in my last vlog, but in case you didn't see it, I have some issues with the cover of this book and with the covers of the books in this series. Now, I have read Alicia Rai before. I know that she goes there in terms of adult content. It's very spicy. I mean, our two main characters, what were their names again? Rhea? Is it Rhea and Samson? Rhea and Samson. And the two of them meet essentially and have a hookup, like right at the beginning. It's a no strings attached, kind of don't give the other person your name. And then they were supposed to meet up again, and then he ghosted her. But he did it for a specific reason that comes out in the book. But this is my issue with these very cartoonish, not hand-drawn, but you know what I mean, like these types of bright, colorful, and not that just because a book is extra adult or extra spicy, it can't be bright and colorful. It absolutely can. But it doesn't jive for me with the contents of the book, not only with the adult content. This book also deals with workplace sexual harassment. It also deals with injuries, like football-related injuries from concussions and things like that. So there are some darker and harder-hitting topics within this book. And I felt the same way about The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. That cover, and I mean, I was in a Chapters Indigo bookstore, 6-8 months ago, and they had that book shelved in the YA section. And I actually got into a discussion, an argument, if you will, with an employee who kind of said to me, they're like, no, this is, look at the cover. It's clearly a YA. No, it's not. Yes, the cover looks super cute and blah, blah, blah. And I just feel like this is the same. That perhaps people who are not ready for this kind of a book might end up picking it up because of the covers. So that's my one complaint with these kind of covers, but it's neither here nor there. I know a lot of people like them. I know that there are other people who will not actually read romances that have these covers. It's a big kind of controversy in a way about these covers. And I don't know, I just think that maybe there needs to be something put on them, maybe on the back, to state that, hey, please be aware, trigger warnings, content warnings, what have you. And again, I'm not saying that she's overtly, like, this is not erotica at all. Like, that's not what I'm trying to say. But it is a lot spicier than your average YA novel. But I liked it. I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. I don't know if I'd said that already, but I did give it 3.5 stars. It wasn't anything spectacular or groundbreaking, but I did really enjoy it. I liked our main characters. I felt, though, that they really kind of, the relationship was really just built off that physical relationship. And what I do have to admit from that, though, is that I did like at the very end, there was no big declaration of love, like, spoiler alert. But it was more of a happy for now kind of an ending, as opposed to a happily ever after kind of ending. Sorry, my phone's going off. Sorry about that, you guys. So I was talking about The Right Swipe. So yeah, at the end of the day, I liked it. I liked the issues that it tackled. I thought that was really good. And, a lot of stuff that, especially like I think we've all kind of read some stories that have that workplace harassment kind of thing in there. At least I know I've read a couple of them. But the injuries, the football injuries, I thought was really, really interesting. And something that I didn't really know a lot about. And I liked hearing about kind of how Samson is dealing with that. Again, I don't want to give away too much of the plot, but it's to deal with his own family, his father and his uncle, who both played professional football. So yeah, really good. So I'm not sure if I said it already, but I did listen to it on audio. It was narrated by Summer Morton and Brian Polino. I both think that they really did a great job on the audio on that. So The other book that I finished last night, guys, it's my first 5-star read of 2021. That's exciting. I finished reading Pursuit of the Truth by Katie Richards. This is a Harlequin intrigue novel. It is the first book in the West Investigation series. This is a NetGalley read for me. So thank you to Harlequin and the author for sending me an e-art copy of this one to review. It came out just this month in February. So this is the story of Nadine and Ryan. Essentially, what happens in this one is that Nadine has kind of taken over. She's now CEO of this small hotel chain. There's like 3 hotels in New York that the family owns. Her father passed away. Her brother has passed away, so she's the only one left. She has an uncle, but he's not involved really in this business. So anyway, she starts to have these things happening to her. Someone has keyed her car. She's getting kind of weird phone calls. But she's like, that's just stuff that kind of happens. It's not necessarily malicious. And then one day on her way to walking to her work at the hotel, she ends up getting pushed out into traffic. So now some strange things are starting to get stranger and starting to get more dangerous. So Ryan is the head of West Investigation Security. He is security for the hotel that she works at. And so he's kind of going to become her bodyguard in a way. And you guys, it was so good. I don't want to say any more than that. They are delving into the death of her brother, and there are some relatively not nice people that her brother was dealing with. This book was a ride, like right from the beginning. Like, it was just, it hit the ground running and did not stop. It was so, so good. There is some adult content in here, but, it was very well put in there. Pun intended. Sorry. It was good. I liked it. The author was really good, and I am very, very excited about reading the next books in the series. They have not been announced yet. Don't know when they're going to be coming out. There's nothing on Goodreads or anything like that. But I am super excited because you're introduced to a lot of other characters that you could absolutely see getting their own stories down the line. And yeah, I am so, so excited to be delving into a new author. She's also Canadian, not by birth, but by moving here. In her author's bio, it says that she moved to Toronto from Washington. So that's exciting. So welcome. Welcome to Canada. The series is set in New York City, so that's kind of fun too. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Like I said, my first 5-star read of the year. So highly enjoyable. I highly recommend it if you are looking for a good romantic suspense. If you are participating in March Mystery Madness next month, I am co-hosting that with a bunch of other people. I, suggest maybe picking up this one. There is a great mystery element to this one as well with what happened with her brother. And again, highly recommend. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for right now. I probably will jump back on tonight because right now I started this morning, oh gosh, what is it called? Sorry. As Kismet Would Have It? Is that what it's called? I can't remember. Hold on. Let me bring up the old, the Kindle here. Wake up. Cancel. As Kismet Would Have It by Sandhya Menon, which is book number 1.5 in the From Dimple Met Rishi universe series, if you will. It's a novella at 50 pages long. So my goal is to get it done today. So I'll probably be back on later tonight to talk about that. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hi guys, me again. So I thought I would just pop on real quick to show you what my husband got me for Valentine's Day. I'm just kind of doing a little overview right now of my Harlequin shelves, which are an absolute mess because I am in the middle of trying to reorganize them. This is just one of the bookcases. So yeah, so I'm trying to recatalog, reorganize, all that fun stuff. But anyway, for Valentine's Day on Sunday, my husband got me a $50 gift certificate for Amazon because he is awesome. So I thought I would show you guys what I got. Now, if you saw my my pre-order video for the month of February, oh, by the way, there's Scrat from Ice Age. Anybody else love and remember that movie? My mom got that for me years ago. I think he's awesome. Anyway, I talked about the fact that I got this book, but I didn't know whether or not I was actually going to continue to have it as an ebook or get the physical copy. Well, when hubby gave me the gift certificate, I decided to go right ahead and get a physical copy of The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna. It is gorgeous. I've been seeing all kinds of people hauling this. like from the Book of the Month Club, and we don't have that in Canada. They won't even ship up to Canada, which makes me sad. But I just thought that this was just so, so pretty, and I really loved what it was about, so I don't know if I'm going to love this or not. Oops. Coming out of the cover. But I very rarely buy myself new hardcovers. Very rarely. So because it was a gift from the Hubs, I decided to treat myself. So there it is. So it's sitting here now until I get to it. I don't know. I'll get to it at some point. If anybody else has it and maybe they want to read it together in April. I know there's another one that I want to read in April. I'm thinking about like kind of focusing on like historical stuff in April. So like both romance and, you know, just general fiction. But, you know, it's going to sit beside my nice cowboy book by Maisie Yates. But yeah. So anyway, so just to give you guys a complete overview, this is the first shelf. The first Harlequin shelf. So, like I said, it's in the process of being completely reorganized right now. The other bookshelves that you guys can usually see behind me, they're a mess. I mean, I've got to get these all cleaned up. And Presley! Hi, Presley! And then my mess of a book cart. TV, cat bed, and here's the other Harlequin shelf. So again, in the process of getting organized. Yeah. And then over here are two stacks that need to all be put away. Those are both all love inspired. So yeah. Anyway, there's a little quick overview for something different. Hi guys, happy Wednesday. It is the 17th of February and it's about 10 to 10, or excuse me, it's 10 to 6 at night. I am coming to you with a quick update, little reading update for the day, for yesterday too. So yesterday, I don't even remember if I actually talked about this or not. If I did, I'm just going to completely delete this. So if you see me suddenly cut to something else, you'll know it's something I already talked about. But if not, I am here to talk about the fact that yesterday I started and finished reading As Kismet Would Have It by Sandhya Menon, which is book 1.5 in the From Dimple Met Rishi series. So clearly don't get too excited. I didn't start and finish War and Peace. It was a 53-page novella. And I'll be honest, guys, I gave it 3 stars. It was okay. I mean, it was enjoyable. I like her writing. I love the world, the Dimple and Rishi universe. I do like the characters. My issue with the story is that I didn't see the point in it. The entire premise is the fact that there's Dimple and Rishi, who, if you have not ever read that series, she is a very smart young lady who wants to go to Stanford University for engineering. Sorry, again, it's really staticky in here. And I think it's engineering or something like that. Or no, she wants to develop an app. That's what it is. It's been a while since I read From When Dimple Met Rishi. And he's kind of actually a bit of a dreamer. So, you know, typically in a lot of these books you see the girl kind of being the dreamer who wants to fall in love, and the boy's like nose to the grindstone for school. And I do like the role reversal, you know, that he's the one who's dreaming about marriage and family, and she's the one who like wants this big career, as she should. So she's very much against the whole patriarchy establishment of marriage. This is how she feels. But, you know, she's fine to be in a relationship with Rishi. So in this story, the two of them, they're 19 years old. He's kind of in a way not pushing her, but like, you know, do you think that maybe one day we'll get married kind of an idea? And she's just kind of like, dude, chillax. And you know, so it kind of becomes this whole thing, and they end up splitting up for a little while. This actually, it's labeled as book 1.5, but in my opinion, it should be book 2.5, because it comes after the events of There's Something About Sweetie, which is the second book. So anyway, regardless, it doesn't matter. You can completely read it, you know, on its own or whatever. Not really. You can't really read it on its own, because you would have to have read From When Dimple Met Rishi. So anyway, essentially, as I said, I didn't see the point in this book, because everything that happens in this book happened in the first book. Like, it happened in their book already. They had these discussions of marriage. They had these discussions of being in a long-term relationship. So why he is, like, kind of bugging her about it again, I don't see the reason why. Now, I understand in a way they've been together a year at this point, and, you know, he wants to know that eventually it's going to go somewhere. But in my opinion, that is something that you need to worry about when you're in your 20s. you know, like if you're in your like 25, 26 and you've been dating somebody, you know, since you were 19 and it's like, okay, you know, are we ever going to like make this official? Are we going to, you know, whatever, if that's something that's important to you. To a lot of couples, it's not. You know, common law relationships, there's absolutely no problem with that at all. But, you know, I was rolling my eyes way too much in this book. And again, yeah, I gave it 3 stars. In reality, if I did not like the series as much as I did, it probably would have gotten a 2 from me. But the writing on it is good. I do, again, love the characters. The other thing, too, that I find in this series is the characters are very wealthy, or they come from very well-to-do backgrounds. And that seems to really be prevalent in the books. Like, they're talking about Rishi's family and how, you know, it's just a very simple scene where he's like something about walking into the backyard. And it's not like, oh, he walked into the backyard. It's like, no, he walked past the swimming pool and the tennis court and the this and the that. And I'm just like, it just, you know, like stuff that's not needed. Anyway, don't let me think, or don't, by me saying this, think that it's a bad series, because I love the series. From When Dimple Met Rishi, There's Something About Sweetie, and what's the third one? 10 Things I Hate About Pinky. Those are all fantastic books. Oh, and From Twinkle with Love. I always forget that one too. So there is the 4 main books in the series, and they are an absolute delight. A great YA contemporary series, but just this one, it can be skipped because it didn't add anything to the series. It was essentially a very small rehash of the first book, in my opinion. So what am I currently reading? Yesterday I started reading A Change of Heart by Sonalia Dev, which is the 3rd book in the Bollywood series. So these stories, the Bollywood series, is very loosely interconnected. So the first 2 books, it's kind of like they're like family members, but you don't have to have read their stories to get this one. Do you know what I'm saying? But there is 4 books in the Bollywood series. So the 4th book is A Distant Heart, which I have already read. Now, you really should read this book, A Change of Heart, and then follow it up by A Distant Heart, because the events that take place in this book are very prominent in the events that take place in that book. It's almost feels like a part 1 and a part 2. Like, I was able to read from a Distant Heart really with no problem, but a lot of the stuff in this book was mentioned. So now that I'm reading this, I'm seeing, you know, the events that they talked about in that book happening now in this book. So it really doesn't, I mean, spoilers, whatever. Spoilers, I guess because I'm a person who's not huge on spoilers, that it really is not something that bothers me. But just so you guys know, if you wanted to read the series, I love this so much. So the fun thing is that the first 2 books in the Bollywood series, A Bollywood Affair and A Bollywood Bride, I don't know if that's the correct order that they're supposed to go in, but they're really fun and light and contemporary romance, you know, but this one has a very dark undercurrent to it. And that undercurrent is organ transplantation and organs being harvested from people to give to other people, essentially. So our female lead in this book, Jess, she received a heart transplant. She actually, what I like is the representation in this one and in A Distant Heart of a congenital cardiac patient, which is what I am. They don't get into, she kind of really glossed over they don't want to get medical, like too technical and medical. I understand that. But, you know, when Nick asks her, well, what is it? Why did you need the transplant? She's like, I have a congenital heart condition. And I was like, oh, yay. And then it was like, oh, and he's like, what is it? And he's a doctor. She's like, oh, I had a hole in the heart. I'm like, oh, what a cop-out. It just feels like a cop-out to me when that's the situation. But, you know, again, I know they don't want to... The average person doesn't need the technical information, you know what I mean? Because although it could have been... It still seemed like a cop-out. Like, in my case, my condition is not a hole in the heart, but I was born missing a valve. So, you know, there's lots of different things that could be a congenital condition. Like, oh my gosh, tetralogy of Fallot, which is like the most common of them. TOF is like the most common. If you hear someone who has a congenital condition, not 9 times out of 10, maybe 7 times out of 10, that's usually what it is that they have. But that's not what I have. I have something different. But anyway, that's besides the point. So there's this very dark undercurrent running through this book. And in a way, it does read a bit like I don't want to say a romantic suspense, but I guess it is, because there's someone after Jess because they think she knows something, because the heart that she received is actually, and you find this out right at the beginning of the book, so this is not a spoiler, is actually Nick's dead wife's heart, Jen, and she was a doctor as well. So there's kind of that, and then there's a bit of a mystical element too, because Jess is saying that Jen is talking through her, and she's feeling things, and she knew Nick, and like all these things. And you know what? I don't know whether you would consider it mystical or not, but you got to think about it. Like, everybody's beliefs are different, and that's fine. But the way I looking at it in a way is like, you receive this transplant from a person, regardless if it's a kidney or a lung or a heart or what have you. That person's DNA is there. Now, their thoughts and feelings and memories are not attached to it. But I have read so many different stories. I have read so many different stories about people who have had a transplant, and now all of a sudden they never liked spicy food, and now they did. And the person who they got, the donor was like someone who loves spicy food. Like things like that. It's kind of nice to think about in a way that person is kind of living on. Does that make sense, or am I being too woo-woo? Like, regardless, all that to say, I am really enjoying this so far. I'm not quite halfway through it. I'm hoping to get it done by like Friday, I guess, because today's Wednesday, so I got a couple more days. But yeah, I'd like to get it done by like Friday, Saturday at the latest. And of course, I will talk a lot more about it when I finished it. And the other book that I started last night was The Chai Factor by Farah Heron, I believe, and it is a Toronto author, and she mentions Toronto quite frequently in the book, but like I kind of said to my husband, I'm like, I find sometimes it can be overdone, and this is one that I'm thinking already is a bit overdone. I'm about 11% of the way through the book, and it's almost like she's name-dropping things in the city, like... At the beginning, it was really fun. As a Torontonian, I'm like, yay, They talk about she's taking the train back from university. She's 30, so she's doing like her final thesis for her PhD or whatever. I think it's her PhD. Or something in engineering, whatever letters you have after your name if you become like an engineer of some kind. And the train gets stuck in the town of Port Hope, which is about an hour east of me. So it's about 2 hours-ish east of Toronto. And I'm like, I know Port Hope. It's like a tiny dot on the map kind of town, and I love that it was like shouted out in a way. And then she's back in the city, and then they mention, of course, Union Station, which is like our big train station downtown. But then it got to another point where it's kind of like name dropping of like, and I'm like, oh, now you're just, I felt the same way when I read the book, The Matchmaker's List, last year. I can't remember who the author on that one was. I'll try and remember to put the authors. Sonia Lai? I think that's what it was. If I'm wrong, I'll put the name down here. But anyway, it felt to me when I read that book, because it also took place in Toronto, is like she opened up a map, like a legit old school map of Toronto, and just started naming streets at random. And it was like, dude, really? Like, it was just, anyway. But the plot of this story is that it's, she is coming back from university. Watch way too many UK people. They all call it uni. She comes back from university, and she ends up on the train with this guy who's like this big burly lumberjack guy. And I believe, now she is Indian Canadian, Muslim Canadian, I think. And, but like, not, like, she's not non-practicing, but she's not, the religious aspect is not a huge deal in her life, essentially. She's Islamic. That's the word I'm looking for. So he's this big burly lumberjack kind of guy, and the way they were describing in the book, all I could think about, for those of you who listen to country music, was Luke Combs. This big guy with a beard. And there's this, rather seedy looking gentleman who's kind of hitting on her on the train. So he kind of comes to her rescue. And then she finds out, of course, because this is always the way these things go in books, is that she lives with her grandmother in the basement apartment in her grandmother's house. And there's extra bedrooms down there in this basement apartment that she has rented out the other 2 bedrooms to this big burly guy named Duncan and his 3 friends. And they are part of a barbershop quartet, because why the heck not? Now, I did go ahead and I did look at some reviews of this book. There seems to be a real divide on this one. People either love it or they hate it. So I didn't see exactly what the reviews said, but more on the fact that it was like, I just saw the star ratings. Like, it went from like a 1 star, somebody else gave it a 5 star. So We shall see. I'm hoping to get this one done in the next few days, but so far I am enjoying it. The writing on it's really good. I'm not particularly in love with the main character. I feel like she's got just a bit of an attitude to her. But yeah, we shall see what happens with this one. But anyway, just wanted to pop on and say hello to you guys. I haven't talked to you, feels like I haven't talked to you very much in this vlog, so I am sorry. But yeah, anyway, that is all. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. Hi guys, happy Thursday. It is the 18th of February and it is about 7:30 at night. I finished work. I just finished dinner. Garrett and I tried a new pizza place for dinner tonight. We got the, you get the ads in the mail, the flyers or whatever they are. And it's a no-name, well, it's not a no-name. It's got a name, but it's not a franchised pizza place. It's called Casino Pizza or something. And, oh, there's Mr. Presley. And here in town that we live in, and we decided to give it a try, and we were very impressed. We will be ordering from them again, so that was nice. What else has been going on? So work was work. I really honestly do not have much in the way of reading update for today because I'm still reading the same 2 books. I'm now about 60% of the way through A Change of Heart by Sonalia Dev, which I'm really enjoying, and I need to do some catch up in reading The Chai Factor by Farah Heron. Because I didn't get a lot of reading done yesterday and last night. I do plan after I'm done recording this, I think I'm going to go have a nice hot bath because, excuse me, I'm congested. I'm very congested. I think I'm coming down with a cold. It's just a cold. I feel fine. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm really red. I woke up about 6:30 this morning and couldn't stop sneezing. And I've just kind of been really congested all day. No cough or anything like that. No fever, no aching muscles. My breathing is fine. I think it's just maybe even allergies. I doubt it. Everything's frozen outside. But I mean, I don't know, right? So, But yeah, so I've just been working away today. I did go out to Michael's with my husband at lunchtime to pick up some things for a cross-stitch picture another cross-stitch picture I'm starting. That's 3 that I'll have on the go now. But I like a little bit of variety, plus a couple knitting projects I've got going. So all the crafting. We did hear yesterday, nothing official yet, but did talk to my manager today. And it sounds like the public health officials are pushing for another 2 weeks of stay-at-home orders for Toronto, which means I probably will not be going back to the office until at least the 9th of March. So I get to be home for my birthday, which is kind of nice. And there's Goran right there. You saw Presley and the Goran, sort of. But anyway, we went to Walmart the other day, and I don't think I showed this to you guys. So my American friends are going to be completely confused by this. But for my Canadian friends, you guys are going to know what this is. So they now have Smarty mini eggs. Okay, you guys? Canadian friends, you know what this is. So these are very similar to the Cadbury mini eggs. Do you in the US have the Cadbury mini eggs? Those are my kryptonite. You get me if I had a big, I would eat the whole thing. I'm not kidding. And to the point where I'd make myself sick. But these are Smarties. So for my American friends who are like, Sarah, those are not Smarties. Smarties are those little tart, sugary things. But no. So they're little eggs, but they are, I don't want to bite into one on camera. This one's kind of broken. They're chocolate filled. So these are very similar in a way to M&Ms, but the candy shell on them is a little bit thicker. Because I remember going to the US and when I was a kid and getting I got Smarties and I was completely confused because I'm like, what are these? They're like sweet tarts, essentially, is what they reminded me of. We call Smarties up here, like what you guys in the States refer to as Smarties, we call them Rockets. And they usually get them at Halloween. But these are our Smarties. And I have American friends who I've totally, I've sent them, not these, because usually they look like an M&M, like that kind of flat disc kind of an idea. But they're candy-coated chocolate. And I've sent them to friends in the US and they get completely confused. They're like, what is this? But I saw these in the Walmart, so I had to pick them up. They're okay. I wouldn't rush out to buy another bag of them. Smarties, the candy shell on them is like I said, it's a little bit thicker than an M&M. So it's okay, but I think I'm not sure how well it works in this egg format. I would much rather take the Cadbury mini eggs any day. So there's my chocolate bit today. But I do have a bit of mail. So I actually had two things of mail. One was a book, but I'm not showing it to you because it is for middle grade March, and I've already filmed the video. So when you see the video from March, middle grade March, I'm going to actually be putting a picture of the book up. But I just received it in the mail, so I'm very, very excited now. But I did get mail from SJ Wonderlands, which is, oops, sorry, I shouldn't show my address, but which is the bookmarks that I love. And I have, I'm not kidding you, probably close to 50 bookmarks from her. But every time she brings out new ones, I'm like, oh, I must have the new ones. Which is why I'm trying to read a lot physically from my shelves, because I want to use the bookmarks. That's a great reason to read from your shelves, right, guys? And physically especially. So this is how they come. Thank you and happy reading. Would love to see your photos on Instagram. Please tag me. So it says SJ Wonderlands book, hashtag bookmarks, hashtag bookish. So there's the outside. She sealed them all like this. I really love the way that she mails them. Let me unwrap it here. So, oh, she used to give out business cards, but now, oh, it's a bookmark. That is awesome. That's really pretty, isn't it, guys? So I thought I would just open this up and show you guys the pretty new bookmarks that I got. So first of all, these were a little bit delayed. She was delayed in shipping these, which is fine. It happens. I really don't care. But these are some Valentine's Day ones. So books make the best Valentines. I love the ones that are not laminated. I don't know what it is. I just think that they are so pretty. The lamination makes them just feel big and bulky to me. I don't know. And then it says book hangover, the struggle of trying to reconnect with reality after finishing a really good book. So there's that one. I really like this one. Very simplistic. It just says reader, and then the one is in color. Very pretty on that one. This one is super, super pretty. Just some really nice Valentine's Day designs with a book and a stack of books, and looks like a hot chocolate and a box of candies and socks. There's socks. We're going to pretend they're hand knit. Right, guys? And then this one, this is part of a series that she does, which is like this little town or whatever. So she did one for all of the seasons, and then I think this is the one for Valentine's Day. So I just thought it was so pretty to add to the collection. I really like that one. And then another one that was just kind of like a pattern. This is Mary Poppins. So you've got Mary Poppins, you've got the clock tower, the pigeons, excuse me, the penguins from that famous scene, her umbrella, of course, the, what do you call that? Carousel horse. So yeah, really, really cute. I like that one a lot. And then the last one is Some Books Are So Familiar That Reading Them Is Like Being Home Again. And that's by Louise May Alcott from Little Women. So I thought that one was pretty too. So yeah, so more to add to my massive collection of bookmarks. I should start when I'm reading, and if I'm reading something physical, I should start showing you guys the bookmark that I'm using just for funsies. So yeah, so anyway, that's all I have, you guys. Bit of a shorter clip today, maybe, maybe not. I'm going to actually start editing this vlog maybe tomorrow, or maybe even tonight if I get some time, because I did it all last Sunday morning, and it wasn't that difficult to do. I just had to run it through one program, but it did still take a little while, so I think maybe if I start editing it and then just save it and then just, you know, edit as I go, I can get it up at a much more decent time for you guys on Sunday. So that is all I got for today, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Happy Friday, friends. We got more snow, and we're getting more snow. And we're about to go and do a coffee run. So Garrett is cleaning off my vehicle. But yeah, some more snow today. I did not know that we were supposed to be getting this, but here we are. People shoveling their driveways. Fun times. Hi friends, happy Friday. Today is the 19th of February, and it is about 8:30 at night. I am sitting down here in the basement so you guys get a bit of a different view. Not much to report today, to be completely honest. It was a quiet day at the office, which was kind of nice, or a quiet day upstairs in my office, I should say. I did have a great little fun Zoom chat this morning with Steve Donahue. I'll leave link to that below if you guys want to see it, because it's over on his channel. He asked me like earlier this week if I wanted to do a Zoom chat So we did, and it was a lot of fun, and I always love talking with Steve. So, yeah, like I said, I'll leave that below. We talk about romance novels and things like that. So, that was fun. Like I said, quiet today at work. Excuse me. But we did find out today the province announced that stay-at-home orders for the city of Toronto are being extended for another 2 weeks. So as of right now, the earliest I will possibly be going back to the office is the 9th of March, which is after my birthday. Because my birthday's in 2 weeks, guys. 2 weeks today. That's crazy. But yeah, so that's exciting. I do enjoy working from home. And it's not because of being lazy or anything at all like that, but to not have to do the commute is absolutely fantastic. Like, to be completely honest, to not have to drive into the city, especially in the wintertime, is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So, yeah, so that's that. Reading wise, not a lot of reading done today. I still have another few hours left of my audiobook, A Change of Heart by Sonalia Dev. So my goal is to get that done tomorrow. And I'm also hoping to finish tomorrow The Chai Factor by Farah Heron. Farah Heron? Or Heron, I think. That one I'm enjoying. I'm a little over 50% of the way through it. I want to get some more reading done on it tonight. But I've been working on some cross-stitch and stuff like that too. But I'm in the basement right now. Garrett and I are going to watch some Law & Order. So plans for the weekend, I really don't have much. I think I might go visit my aunt tomorrow. I'll see. I'm going to play it by ear and see what she wants to do, because I have no idea what that was. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, you guys. So here I am talking to you, and I hear this scream from upstairs. I'm like, is everybody okay? And Mom's like, yeah, it was just me. I'm like, what happened? She says, I was angry at a TV show. And I'm like, oh my gosh. It sounded like she stepped on or chopped off the cat's tail or something. Oh my God. So anyway, so like I said, for the weekend, I might go see my aunt, but I do still have this like head cold. You can probably tell, like, I'm all red in the face. But you know, it is what it is. But I don't have any other plans. I have nothing else to do this weekend, legit. I don't even have to film any. I do have one video that I need to film for next week. Two, actually. But I think what I'm going to do is film them during the week, because it's just going to be, I just kind of want a weekend without having any obligations, like in terms of anything really. I mean, sitting down to do these is fine. This is nothing, right? I enjoy doing this a lot. And you guys really seem to like it too. So yeah, you guys really seem to enjoy the vlog. So I think I'm going to keep them up. But I just thought, now, I am going to probably film a sweater weather episode tomorrow. But it's mostly going to be cross-stitch. And I think that channel is almost becoming more of a floss tube channel. For those of you who don't know, that is kind of like, we have booktube. So floss tube is all about cross-stitch. And I haven't really picked up my knitting this week, you guys. I have just been all into the cross-stitch. And I started a new one today. And again, I'm going to show this tomorrow. You know, I'll be putting a new episode of that up. I'll leave a link to that channel in the description box below if you guys want to check it out. But I bought this pattern today because it was so cute. And I'm super excited about it. So I thought I would show you guys. I'll just show you the actual, like, what the finished. Whoa, that's way too big. Sorry, I've got it on my tablet here beside me, and I just want to show you the actual picture. Stop it. Silly tablet. But there's the picture. That's what I'm cross-stitching. It's called Pretty Little Toronto, and it's by, can you see it? Okay, let me do this. She's on Etsy. There's the name. Satuma Street, I think, is the designer, but she has an entire series of these, like 20 different cities, and she pulls like what do you call them? Sorry for the glare. Landmarks from the different, so clearly there's the CN Tower, the Royal Ontario Museum, City Hall, Casa Loma's in there too. So yeah, so I started stitching that today, so I've kind of been doing that a little bit. But yeah, and then like I said, so not much else planned. A little bit more reading, of course, a lot more reading this weekend. I have some big goals. I have, I think, like 8 more books to finish. I'm going to attempt to finish them all by next week, by next Sunday, like the last day of February. So we shall see if I can do that. But I hear Garrett coming back down the stairs, and I think we're going to watch a Law & Order. What? Oh, stop. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Hi guys, happy Saturday. It is the 20th of February and it's just after 7 o'clock at night. I'm just sitting here. I was actually just editing the vlog up to this point. So I have it edited and saved, and now tomorrow all I have to add is this clip, and I'm probably going to be doing another clip tomorrow morning because the other book that I'm reading I probably won't finish until later tonight. So just like last week, I'll add the clip in for Sunday morning, and then I just have to export it and upload it. And it should be a lot quicker than it was. It should be up earlier than it was last Sunday. So that's my goal here. But yeah, it was a low-key day for the first part, and then it's been a low-key day all day. So I just kind of relaxed around the house all morning, and then I took my hubby to work. Sorry, my hair is all staticky again. That's probably why I had it up earlier. But I took it down for whatever reason. So, sorry, handy dandy. Give me just a sec. There we go. Okay, so I won't chop my hair off again because it's just so easy if you don't want to deal with it. So anyway, yeah, then I took my husband to work, and then my mom and I went over to my aunt's house for a visit. I asked her last night, I'm like, I have this slight head cold, which by the way, guys, I feel fine today. I feel a lot better. I'm still a little congested, but nothing to what I was over the last few days. She's like, no, just come over. It's fine. So we went over and visited with her, and she bought us dinner. We had Greek, which is one of my favorites. I had the vegetarian like pita, vegetables on a pita with tzatziki and feta cheese and rice, and oh, so yummy. One of my favorites. So it's like I said, now it's 7 o'clock, and I'm just waiting for my hubby to finish work. His normal work day is 3 till 11, but most nights he's done before 11. They're just not, surprisingly, he works for a grocery store distribution center, but surprisingly, they're not super busy. And I think it's because for a lot of this time, people have been working from home, and kids haven't been going to school. Like, the schools have been closed for quite some time. So you just haven't had that run on, like, kids, like groceries for kids to go to school with. So, anyway, it's fine. He makes, pretty decent money. So if he's off a few hours earlier, whatever. So anyway, he thinks he'll be done by 9 tonight. So still have a few more hours to relax. But I did finish a book this morning, so that's why I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys. So this morning I finished listening to oh my gosh, A Change of Heart by Sonalia Dev. This is the third book in the Bollywood series. And actually, there's only 4 books in this series, and this book completes the series for me. So I finished a series. Yay! So I realized when I was editing the vlog already, I have talked a lot about this book already and kind of my thoughts on it. So I'm really not going to delve too much more into that because I've kind of already done it. But I gave this one 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. On audio, it was narrated by... Sorry, guys. Give me just a second here. Get out of my cross-stitch pattern that I was doing and get the narrator's name for you guys because she was fantastic. So I talked about the premise of this book already a bit, and I don't want to rehash it too much because literally you guys probably just watched it a few minutes ago. But essentially it's about a guy by the name of Nick whose wife was killed, like brutally killed, and it has something to do with black market organ theft, essentially, like black market organs. And this other woman named Jess, who is trying to find out what happened, and she is telling Nick that she actually has his wife's heart. So she was a transplant, like she received the transplant kind of an idea. And there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. There's this whole mystery surrounding everything. There is a romance in there. There is some adult content in this book, but the majority of it is behind closed doors and or fade to black. So yeah, I really liked it. This was not, I will be honest, not my favorite in the Bollywood series. I just found with everything else going on and the fact that both main characters, both Nick and Jess, were keeping a lot of secrets from each other, that the building of the relationship was a little bit difficult, but I really liked the story outside of that. So that's why it got a 4. I would definitely say, the thing is that I really liked A Distant Hurt, which comes after this one, but you really need to have read this one to read that one. So go ahead and read both of them because they are really good. And then the first 2 books are much more contemporary romance. From what I'm remembering, but it's been years since I've read them, that they're a lot lighter in terms of context. You know, you're not getting these deeper and darker topics that kind of go along with. Now, what I didn't realize is that I think it's from the second book. Actually, you do, now that I'm thinking about it. There is a darker undercurrent that runs through the first two books. Not darker, I shouldn't say that. A heavier topics, that's what I mean. So they're not completely light and fluffy, but still really, really good. But this one just seemed, I guess because in a way something like organ donation is really, really difficult, and it's not really difficult. I mean, it's something that sorry, you can get on my soapbox just for a second here. Please sign your donor card, everybody, please, because it's the best thing to do, in my opinion. But anyway, because it's something that could eventually down the road affect me, that's why I tend to look at it in a different light than most people, maybe. I don't know. It depends. It depends on what your personal situation is, I think. So the first two books, I think one dealt with mental health. I think both of them may have dealt with mental health issues, but I cannot remember 100% off the top of my head because it's, like I said, it's been a few years. But one of the characters, I want to say it's from the second book, she is actually cousin to the guy who's in this book. So there is a thin thread that kind of weaves them all together. I think if you read them in order, which I did not, because I'm pretty sure I went 2, 1, 4, 3. You would get the lineage a little bit better than I did, but like I read book 1 and 2 out of order, and it didn't phase me or anything like that. Everything kind of worked its way out in the long run. So yeah, so I really, really enjoyed this one. Very interesting, very intriguing stuff. It went somewhere that I actually didn't see coming, and I was like, oh, you know, like when it happened. So yeah. So anyway, it was narrated on audio by Sonolia Nankaki, I think that's how you say. I'm gonna type her name out right here for you guys so you can read it for yourself, because she was fantastic. She did such a good job on this one on audio. I really, really enjoyed it. Highly, highly recommend. So that's about all that I have right now, you guys. I'm still reading The Chai Factor. I am almost done. I'm at 65%. My goal is to finish it tonight. Like I said, I probably will not be jumping back on to talk to you guys again until the morning, because it's going to be too late by the time I'm done, and I'm sure it'll be another one that I like to read a bit before I go to bed. So yeah, I'll be doing that. But anyway, you guys, that's all I have for right now. I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys. Hi guys, it is Sunday morning, and I am coming to you now with the final clip for this vlog to give you my final thoughts on the last book that I finished later last night. I am sitting down here right now to actually film the start of this week's vlog, as well as my crafty podcast channel that I have. So there will be a new episode going up today because I am filming this on the same day you are going to see this video. So I have actually renamed that podcast, or that channel, and it's Sarah Knits and Stitches. So I will leave a link to that in the description box below. I always have a link down to that. So if you guys want to go ahead and check that out, that would be fantastic. If you're into seeing the crafty things that I also like to do. So as I said, final clip for this vlog. So last night, just before bed, I finished reading The Chai Factor by Farah Heron. And I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. I didn't absolutely love it, unfortunately. I had such high hopes for it. I knew it was set in Toronto, and I got really excited about that. And our main character was Muslim, and the male lead was Anglo-Saxon white, I guess, Caucasian. And I wanted to see the inner workings between the two of them in a relationship. But to be completely honest, I did not like the main character of Amira. I really didn't like her. Now, I understand, I think I mentioned this yesterday, she's going through a few things. There was an incident at the airport that involved her a year or so ago, that she was singled out because she was Muslim, and she had some, I think it was Arabic writing on her phone. It was like an art piece, but of course, security at the airport pulled her aside and just really harassed her for absolutely no reason. She deals with a lot of both with discrimination in the workplace in terms of her gender, and of her background, like, you know, the fact that she is Muslim and things like that. So there's a lot of that as well. So she is dealing with a lot, and I get that. I understand that you are probably going to carry a chip on your shoulder when you're dealing with those kind of things. My issue was that the people who were generally being nice to her, she was still snarky and mean to. Like, you know, I understand that she kind of wants to stand up for herself and do her own, and, you know, and help herself essentially. But there's nothing wrong with accepting help from other people if they can help you. And she just kept flying off the handle for no reason. And it was stated a number of times that she even says it herself, that she has a temper. And it's gotten to her in trouble more than once. And I just didn't care for her as a main character. I adored Duncan, the male lead. I thought he was delightful. But her I didn't care for. But the secondary characters I really liked. So the premise of this book, because I didn't really say what the premise was, is that she is finishing her graduate master's degree program, and she has one more report, paper, project to do. And she leaves school because she is older than anybody else. Like, she's 30. The rest of the other grad students are quite a bit younger. And a lot of them want to do some partying and things like that. So she ends up leaving the dorms and she comes home. She doesn't realize, because it's a last minute decision, she doesn't tell anybody, that she lives with her grandmother at her grandmother's house in the basement apartment. And her mother and her much younger sister, her sister's only 11, they live upstairs with the grandmother. Well, she shows back up to find out that the grandmother has rented out the basement apartment. There's 3 bedrooms down there. 2 of them have been rented out to this barbershop quartet, which I thought was just absolutely delightful. And so these 4 guys, she ends up having to kind of room with them in a way. And it's the relationship between her and one of the guys in the quartet named Duncan. And his name is Duncan Galahad. And at the very beginning of the book, he kind of comes to her rescue on the train with this really creepy guy who's hitting on her. So throughout the book, I thought it was kind of cute. She refers to them, or her and her best friend, Rena. They refer to the barbershop quartet as the Merry Minstrels. Which I thought was so cute. But there are, there's a couple of LGBTQ characters, and I really liked the friend, her best friend Rena, and what was going on with her sister. And, you know, there was a lot of other side stories that I did really enjoy outside of the main relationship between Amira and Duncan. But because that was the bulk of the story, I had to drop it down drop it down to like a 3.5. But it did get a 3.5 as opposed to like a 2.5 or a 3, because of all the secondary characters and all the secondary plot lines that I was really, really enjoying. So yeah, at the end of the day, I enjoyed it, but I didn't absolutely love it. So there is that. So that is all that I have read this week, you guys. And all that I've really done. So like I said, I'm going to film my a video for my other channel, and I'm going to start next week's vlog. And I will talk to you guys in my next video. Until then, take care and happy reading, everybody. Bye.